All right, let's get started. The 10 biggest lies of the enemy and how to combat them. The 10 biggest lies of the enemy and how to combat them. All right, we're on day 3 today. And remember that the title of this chapter, the title of this chapter is "The Devil is a Liar," right? So we're still under that topic. What we're going to talk about today are the enemy's tactics. So we're on page 9 to 14 in the book. I probably shouldn't be this excited to talk to you today about the enemy's tactics, but I really am, okay? So page 9 to 14 in the book. The first line that the author opens with in this section is, while God created us with free will, he intends that we use that will to freely choose him. And sometimes, I mean, that's a powerful statement, you know, but sometimes there's life crap that gets in the way of our ability to do that. And that's what Satan preys on, okay? He prowls around. We cannot forget who he is. He is lie, and he prowls around in the dark, subtle, cunning, baffling, and powerful, waiting to kill, steal, and destroy. That's just who he is. He is lie. There is no truth in him. It's a complete absence of God. He is not. It's a complete absence of all that is good. That is Satan. That is the enemy. Okay. And what we're doing right now is we're getting to know him and we're getting to know his tactics. So, you know, we have to understand what we're doing here. We have to remember is sort of laying this ground, this foundational information that we need to be able to dive in to this bondage, okay, to where we're at, the lies. We're going to get to the lies, but we're laying some foundation. It's like planning. This is spiritual warfare, and we have to know our enemy, and we have to know how he works, okay? So that's what we're doing here. You have to realize that Satan works through our experiences. He works through our traumas. You have an angel of darkness assigned to you, okay? Just like you have a guardian angel assigned to you, there's an angel of darkness assigned to you throughout your life that has been watching you, that has been waiting. We live in a fallen world. We all have traumatic experiences. And you know, you're going to have to spend some time today, and I don't want to scare anybody off, but if you want freedom, you're going to have to spend some time really pressing in and looking into where you're bound up, right? And you know, we have to look at our experiences. We have to look at our perceptions. Everything that gets to here in our being, there's what happens out in the world, and it's almost like we have these glasses on, okay? And those glasses, think about like glasses with tinted lenses. This is our filter with how we view the world, right? And in that filter are our experiences, things that we experienced ourselves, things that we've seen in our family, things that we might have seen in our neighbor. And it's how we perceive those things that we experience. Whether or not it's completely 100% true, it's our perception. And our perception becomes our reality. And Satan would use that. It's like he's the accuser, and he whispers in our ear, and those become false truths, okay? And many times our experiences influence how we come to believe in ourselves. We begin to believe things that are untrue about ourselves because it's like maybe a pattern of events, or it's like, you know, you really do have this good over here and this evil over here, and they're both whispering in your ear trying to get you to believe them. All right, that's just, I mean, in a spiritual realm, that's sort of what happens, okay? And if we get to where we believe those lies, those untruths based on our experiences, it's just this false sense that we come into agreement with, that we begin to believe. And it's not the truth of God, okay? It's the truth. It's an enemy. It's a false truth. And we decide who we're going to believe. And many times if we don't realize, if we don't have the tools to go in and really work on believe in that truth, we end up in agreement with this false identity, all right? That happens a lot of times through traumatic events. So you're going to have to go back and look. A lot of it happens in our childhood. It's in our formation, or it's in maybe our family dynamic. Maybe it was a little dysfunctional. I mean, we're humans. We're in a fallen world. This is not the time for us to like become angry about our situations. It's the time for you to really go in with open eyes and just look at it for what it is. Okay? You have to sort of try to set your pain aside to be able to look at it clearly. See it for what it is. Maybe it wasn't your family. Maybe it was peer influence. Maybe it was the neighbor down the street who touched you in inappropriate ways and you never told anybody because of threats. I mean, you have to go in and look at those places. Maybe it was in your family of origin, okay? I don't know. Maybe there's generational stuff. Maybe everybody in your family has maybe there's been an alcoholic in every generation, or maybe there's been, sexual sin over and over and over again. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We have to be willing to go in there and look. But trauma left unresolved is a gateway for Satan to come in, okay? It's a gateway. So this is the kind of stuff we're looking at, all right? And trauma happens in this fallen world. It just does. It does. And maybe it's something that you chose to do and turned out poorly. Maybe it's something that was done to you. It doesn't, where the trauma comes from is not as important as the fact that the trauma existed, and it's an opportunity for Satan to get in and left unresolved and unprocessed. It's gonna leave its mark, okay? It is what it is. And if we're gonna fight this enemy, then we have to know that. All right? We filter it through all of those experiences. The author really gets into that. I probably spent too much time on that already. What I want to really get into are his tactics. Trauma would almost be his mode. It would be how he gets in, okay? But I want to talk about inner vows. We're going to talk about strongholds, okay? So, as a result of our experiences, we see things and we process. In our processing of stuff, when we're sort of working this out in our mind, we would probably make these statements. I'm never gonna. Say we see this interaction between our mom and our dad, okay? And something happens, and we may make a vow that says, I'm never going to be like that. I'm never going to be like that, okay? You have to go back and look at all of the vows that you've made, because a vow like that comes from a place of judgment, okay? And what do we know about judgment? We're not supposed to do it, all right? So we have to go back, and there's going to be tons of them there, y'all. I've been through this. I've been through all this stuff. There's going to be tons of them there. You have to go back to all of these experiences that you've had and ask God to reveal them to you. Where have I made a vow out of judgment? And it could be what's going on out there in the world, or in your family dynamic, or in the public, or what's going on in the world now. It may very well be wrong or something, but we cannot make these vows, because what happens is whenever we make a vow like that, we bring that, it attaches us in a spiritual realm to that very thing that we dislike, okay? And then we bring that back on ourselves, all right? These vows that we make, these inner vows, come from a place of ungodly self-reliance, and it binds us to that thing, all right? I'm going to post some images in the comments after I get done of some more information about inner vows, and how those inner vows can sort of work into strongholds. And strongholds are the other thing that I'm going to talk about. The author does a beautiful job of talking about like the Satan's lies being like the foot soldiers, and then these strongholds become this fortress. And it's almost like you think about it in this tactical way. It's like, and then we end up being cut off from the love of God, Okay, we end up being cut off from that because of, that's just how Satan works, y'all. And so we really have to go in and look at these places where we've made these inner vows. We have to go in, we have to spend some time today pondering our experiences, pondering where Satan has got in. You know, the inner vows protect us. We think they protect us, but it's a pseudo protection because they keep us from the love of the Father. Okay? When Satan lies and we begin to believe it, that allows him to come in, and then that stronghold is sometimes a gradual thing, and it allows for the presence of evil to come in and take root in our life, okay? It just does. And we can become oppressed by that, all right? And it really can affect our day-to-day functioning. It's real, you guys. You have to spend some time today going in there and looking where there might be the presence of some oppressive strongholds in our life. What do you struggle with? What keeps coming back up? You know, these wounds that are left unhealed do not compare your trauma to someone else's, okay? Your trauma is your trauma. Your experiences are your experiences. Left unprocessed, left unhealed, they can manifest and it becomes huge, okay? And it influences, it just keeps us from having that peace. It keeps us from having that peace. You know, so just, we're looking at the lies. We're looking at whether it's God's truth. What have we come into agreement with, you know? What have we come into agreement with? Because everything else is based upon that. It's like the foundation of our life. And so if it's a negative foundation built on falsehood, then it's going to have a negative ripple effect throughout our life. Just like whenever we clean this up and we begin to, we have this foundation of God's truth that replaces this, we're going to have a positive ripple effect. We have to really go in and ponder and process how Satan has worked. And it goes all the way back to the garden, you guys. It goes all the way back to the garden. He is lie. It goes all the way back to the garden. All right? And, you know, we clean this up. We heal this with prayer. But we have to sort of know what to pray against. The author spent some time today setting this foundation. I encourage you to read and read some more. Read these pages over and over again. I'm gonna post some stuff in the comments. I want you to read it also. You know, these inner vows are a big thing. They're a big thing. You know, there's vows made from a place of judgment, and then there's vows made from a holy place. Vows in and of themselves aren't really bad, okay? But it's, where does that vow come from? I know I've made tons of these, you know, and I can tell you that the first time you press into this, you're going to get a lot of them. But as you continue this healing journey, God is going to continue to reveal more and more to you. You know, I've said before, He peels us back like an onion, a layer at a time. He's going to continue to show you things the more you press in. I want to show you this this image. I don't know if you can see it right here, okay? It's an image. This will be in the, this will also be in the comments. The inner vows, they're the promises we make to ourselves out of fear, wounds, or judgment. I'll never be like my mother. I'll never be like my father. I'll never be like my abuser. I will not trust anybody. I will not be vulnerable. I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody's help. Vows, inner vows. Think about it. I mean, think about it. And then the beliefs, they're the middle part of that, okay? The lies that we believe about ourselves. Judgments are what we believe about others. Those are all ways that Satan can get in. And it all comes from our wounds, our trauma, our bondage, our brokenness. You guys, freedom awaits, but you got to spend some time really pressing into this, okay? And He's going to continue, the the Lord is going to continue to reveal things to you as we go. I know He will. We're going to get into specific lies that we come to believe. Just prepare yourselves. Pray. Pray prayers of thanksgiving for this opportunity. Every time the Lord reveals something to you, pray and thanksgiving to Him for showing you that. That's revelation. That revelation is going to bring you freedom. That revelation is going to bring you freedom. God is our creator. He created you. Satan, look, I was at a Theology of the Body conference. Satan doesn't have his own clay, okay? He doesn't have his own clay. God created you. He is the creator. Satan does not have his own clay. Don't give him his own clay. Do not give him his own clay. Today you take it back. Today you make a decision that you're taking it back. You're taking it back. You're going to be strong to press in to your trauma. Be strong. Your strength is in God. It is not on your own. No ungodly self-reliance. We renounce that right now in the name of Jesus. Courage from the heart. All right. Read, pray, take some notes. There's some scripture verses that I'm going to post. I posted them. They're also in these pictures that I'm going to post. Just it's good stuff, you guys. It's good stuff. All right. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. God bless you.